Hello everyone, and welcome to Designing Characters, where I explain turning characters from my mind and other media into characters for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Here, we focus on builds and personality traits utilizing standard array or point buy with D&D Beyond's layout. Let me know what character build or video you'd like to see next in the comments below. I read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you'd like a say on the next video I make, patrons get to vote on these videos as they come out to decide what character I build next. And if you purchase the Titanium tier or higher, you can skip that process and directly request a build for me to design from scratch. Today we're working on Asta from Black Clover, the loud, anti-magic, black bull, devil child powerhouse protagonist in a world full of mystique and magic.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick, boy! That's a thick-ass boy! Damn!
So what are our goals for our screaming short boy? First, we need him to be a physical powerhouse, strong, fast, and durable with little care for the other mental scores. We have to contend with grand magic and a party full of wizards. Someone besides Yami needs to be able to handle the front line. Next, we need the ability to instantly shut down and dispel magic. Well, most magic, countering it quickly in order to ensure you have options when your back's against the wall. Don't really want it to be your first option though. Dodging is just better. Saves you stamina. Finally, we need a few options to cloak our bodies in black energy, augmenting our already fantastic physical abilities, providing flight, enhanced power, and other options depending on where we channel that darkness. Now for our ability scores, we're going with point buy to get our lopsided stats. Let's start with the obvious and take 15 strength, 13 dexterity, and 14 constitution. You're incredibly strong, decently fast, with a ridiculous physique and health. Next, take your 8 intelligence, 9 wisdom, and 13 charisma. You're likable to some people, and have a decent decision making and observational skill, but you're fairly uneducated and don't really have many complex plans. Now for our race, you're short, stout, well-built, and loud. So we're going with dwarf. Specifically a hill dwarf. Hill dwarves make excellent frontliners, gaining +1 wisdom and +2 constitution for a new total of 10 and 16 respectively. Alongside this, you gain several other benefits including 60 feet of dark vision and dwarven resilience, granting you advantage to saves made against poisons, as well as resistance to poison damage. Dwarven combat training grants you proficiency in axes and hammers, not that it matters with our future class choices anyway. You also gain proficiency in mason's tools. After all, you helped with repairs and work around the church to help maintain it. This also grants you stone cutting, for expertise in history checks made in relation to stonework and architecture. I'm sure that will really come in handy for Asta. Finally, you gain dwarven toughness, increasing your hit points by 1 per level, effectively giving you a free mini tough feat. Now for background, you were raised within a small orphanage that worshipped the Morning Lord. Lacking any real magical talent from a young age, you began to train and push yourself even as a child, skipping out on most schooling and lessons to instead train your body to its limit. As such, we're going with a heavily altered variant acolyte, as you were raised as an orphan in a church even if you aren't particularly trained in the religion itself. With this, you gain proficiency in athletics and acrobatics for your desperate physical training. You also gain an herbalism kit for your knowledge of turning various plants into juices and drinks to restore your body and mana that you lack. Finally, you also gain a language, take Infernal, though you don't know how to speak it until a bit later on. Now for class, we're going with Fighter to start us off. Level 1 fighters gain a D10 hit die with proficiency in the skills Survival and Perception. Saves for Constitution and Strength, as well as most items. For your fighting style, take 2-weapon fighting for the focus you have later on while wielding a longsword and a short sword at the same time. Finally, you gain Second Wind, allowing your shonen protagonist energy to extend and get back up even after you've been nearly knocked out. Now a brief switch over to Warlock after you discover your tome, and form a pact with the devil within it, and now within you. Warlocks have a D8 hit die and gain an otherworldly patron. This grants you temporary hit points every time you cut down your enemy. For this, I'd also recommend talking to your DM about just making it every time your party cuts down an enemy, because otherwise it feels like a bad RPG where you have to get the last hit on everything, and that's not really what D&D is about. Along with this, you gain Pact Magic, reflecting your anti-magic beginning to manifest itself. Take Green Flame Blade and Booming Blade to cloak your blade in anti-magic and strike out at your enemies while gaining 2 spells. Take Armor of Agathis to form a cloak of anti-magic black glass around your body and shrug off incoming damage you sustain while also harming other magic users that would strike you. As well, take Protection from Evil and Good to greatly improve your resistance against various magic creatures through your anti-magic, resisting them innately. Second level Warlocks gain Eldritch Invocations. Take Armor of Shadows, granting you near passive mage armor as anti-magic infuses your body, allowing you to shrug off incoming attacks more efficiently. For your second, take Eldritch Mind, granting you advantage on concentration saving throws for your spells later on. For your spell, take Expeditious Retreat to augment your movement speed immensely in the midst of battle. Third level Warlocks gain a Pact. Take Pact of the Blade for the various blades you're capable of. It's true that you have a floating book with you, so I'd love to take Talisman or Tome, but they don't actually translate into anything Asta uses in D&D, so that'll probably just be flavor, unfortunately. Nonetheless, Pact of the Blade lets you bind yourself to your primary sword, letting you teleport it to you at will from a pocket dimension in your tome. You also gain 2 spells and lose Expeditious Retreat, replacing it with Misty Step for a sudden burst of movement and Blur and Shadow Blade, now allowing you to summon your short sword from the book as well, and dual wield them to devastating effect. A important note here, Shadow Blade reads as a standard simple finesse weapon, meaning you can use it with strength if you choose, and it does gain strength bonus damage if you do so. Unless your DM says no, because they do have the final word, but you should be able to make them see reason if you actually read the spell in detail. Fourth level Warlocks gain a feat. Take Resilience and Dexterity for your incredible physical abilities and reflexes to contend with magic the last moment when your key senses activate, thus increasing your dexterity score to 14 total as well. With this, you gain a spell. Take any spell really, as we'll be replacing it next level, but I'd recommend Expeditious Retreat again, honestly. It's a pretty solid fill-in spell for this build until we can get the real spells that you're after. For your additional cantrip, take Eldritch Blast for your Black Slash attack, releasing blasts of anti-magic from your blade to pummel a target into submission. 5th level Warlocks gain an Eldritch Invocation. Take Eldritch Smite and infuse your blade with an explosion of anti-magic to devastate your opponent when you don't want your utility, you just want to hit them as hard as you can. You also gain 2 new spells by dropping Expeditious Retreat again and replacing it with Counterspell and then taking Dispel Magic, allowing you to finally nullify magic as it's used or with your blade striking into it. 6th level Warlocks gain the Dark One's Own Luck, allowing you to add a d10 to a failed check or save for that raw shonen protagonist luck once per short rest. You also gain another spell. Take Thunderstep for an explosion of sudden movement with raw physical power, being sent blasting forward and sending anyone around you flying away. Now that your anti-magic has fully materialized, we're hopping back over to Fighter for a while. 2nd level fighters gain Action Surge, allowing you to release a sudden burst of energy and unleash a barrage of high-speed strikes with your blades. 3rd level fighters choose a martial archetype. Take Samurai, granting you Fighting Spirit, thus allowing you to instantly gain temporary hit points for the turn as well as advantage on your physical attacks, making your dual wielding incredibly dangerous with Shadow Blade. You also gain a bonus proficiency. Take Persuasion for the rare moments you try to actually convince someone of something and actually think about what you're trying to say. Pretty rare moments. 4th level fighters gain +1 to strength and +1 to charisma to even out your odd scores, raising strength to 16 and charisma to 14. 5th level fighters gain a second attack, allowing you to now dish out 3 attacks a round, 2 with longsword and 1 with the shadow blade. 6th level fighters gain +2 to strength, raising it up to 18 total to further enhance your blade's potency. 7th level samurai gain Elegant Courtier, granting you a bonus to persuasion equal to your wisdom modifier, which is 0. But more importantly, grants proficiency in wisdom saving throws, helping to cover for one of your weaknesses. 8th level fighters gain another +2 to strength, finally capping it off at 20 now to maximize your blade's abilities. 9th level fighters gain Indomitable, allowing you to reroll failed saving throws for when you roll badly and your Dark One's luck can't save you. 10th level samurai gain Tireless Spirit, ensuring you always have at least 1 usage of Fighting Spirit. Combine this with your Eldritch Smites when you really have no choice but to land that hit or everyone loses against the big bad devil human possession. 11th level fighters gain a 3rd attack, now dishing out 4 attacks a round casually without issue. 12th level fighters gain a feat. Take Tough and amplify your hit points even further as your muscular, stout body gets even more freakishly ripped and thick. With our fighter levels finished, let's hop back over to Warlock to wrap up. After a time skip, a lot of muscle mass gained, and training to master your powers, you gain some new skills. 7th level warlocks gain an Eldritch Invocation. Take Trickster's Escape to ensure that during battle and during times of environmental hardship, you're not slowed by anything due to your raw physique, thus allowing you to cast Freedom of Movement on yourself. You also gain a spell. Take Fly and either sprout black wings or flowing darkness, or ride your sword like a badass. Who needs brooms? For our capstone, 8th level warlocks gain a feat. Take Mage Slayer to finalize your couple years of combat against mages, clear the distance so you're always on them using your mobility, and shut them down with devastating counterattacks in the midst of their casting. Finally, for your last spell, take Shadow of Moil and utilize one of your other swords, aside your Shadow Blade, dual wielding, and cloaking your entire body in anti-magic darkness to shred through your enemies. So, with all that said and done, how strong is our short little Mage Slayer? First off, you hit a lot, and each hit is pretty painful. If you're dual wielding with your Shadow Blade, hitting 4 times in a round you can deal 44 damage on average. Not the highest damage output out there, but you're not meant to be. You hit hard enough and can hit harder if need be with the smite. Second, you're incredibly beefy with over 230 fixed hit points and the ability to get consistent temporary hit points through Fighting Spirit, Dark One's Blessing, and Armor of Agathis, making you very difficult to put down. Combine this with your amazing saving throws and you're pretty difficult to deal with even at high-end play. And finally, between your teleportation, damage potential, damage return, high hit points, and saves, as well as advantage against magic when you're in the mage's face, you are the pinnacle of a primary caster's bane. Honestly, Counterspell and Dispel are just the icing on the cake. Despite this, you do have some issues. First, you have amazing hit points and great saving throws, but your AC isn't really great. 15 AC with mage armor is, not amazing at pretty much any level of play, which kind of explains why you take hits so often. After all, you don't have a mana skin. You're a fighter, so I highly recommend just wearing some plate, or at least some breastplate, and take a better invocation, like Devil Eyes or False Life or something. Second, unlike in the series, we can't just have infinite anti-magic stuff, so you have the classic warlock problem. You have no spell slots. Certainly, them being 4th level helps, but in the end, 2 spell slots is rough. You're gonna be the classic warlock asking for a short rest from the party, like after every encounter. Finally, though most of your saving throws are amazing, you're not without some serious flaws. With a flat roll on intelligence and a simple +2 for charisma, potent spells late game can completely wreck you. Indomitable or not, rerolls don't help much when you practically have to roll an 18 or higher to pass the spell DC. But you're not meant to be the all-powerful main character. Not yet anyway. Work with your group, let them enhance you and cover your weaknesses. Dish out consistent, decent damage while tanking all the hits and effects you can. There's a reason your party is more like a family to you than a group of fellow knights. Eventually, you're going to have to grow into your own footing though, or you may end up losing an important teacher due to your own lacking power. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop it a like, subscribe for more, hit the little bell, and please leave a comment on anything you liked about the build or what video you'd like to see next. I do videos on Dungeons & Dragons as well as my own world once to twice a week. I'd like to thank all my patrons, but especially my Platinum patrons, SPS and Crom. Your donations mean the world to me. If you'd like to join them, there's a link in the description below to my Patreon. Patrons get to vote on the videos that I do and have access to various variant rules, homebrew supplement systems, items, and spells, as well as a few other tidbits. You can also talk with my community in Discord to learn about my D&D supplements and a literate roleplay board I run for my world. Have an amazing day, everyone. Be safe. Love each other. Goodbye.